Welcome to Church of the Chair, where we celebrate all the things we do while seated. I'm your host, E, here today with my co-host, Chad Lutzke, and we are currently collaborating on a novel called Planet Caravan. We are over the 40K mark, so today's episode is Road to 50K Begins. What you know exactly how much we're at?
That's what I was just gonna look
All
for.
right. 101 pages. Oh, by the way, look what came in.
Oh, dude.
Finally got it. And
Nice.
showing support for the new one.
Very
So,
cool.
jump into them shortly. Probably read them back to back. And
I think you'll like them both.
I might even do a three for and read Out Behind the Barn too. Back to back.
They're all pretty short, but they're all great books, man. I mean, if I do say so myself. Out Behind the Barn.
This ain't even like a criticism. It's just aggravating as a book collector that they're fucking so different in size. I cannot stand that. One of the things I love about your books is they're all the same size. I don't know. I guess when your new thing comes out with Bruises on a Butterfly, when it comes out from CD, it'll probably be the same size as Jedi Summer. But
my last collection is not the same size because neither is Wormwood. But that's out of my hands.
I figured. It would just, I don't know. It makes sense to. I don't know why CD doesn't do 5x8. They only do 6x9.
I hate that. I like thicker books. So I don't know.
What's the genre of the new book? Just gritty, almost noir carnival stuff. All that stuff. Hey, Pedro, how you doing? Sorry, I just saw you came in. How are you doing, my friend? Get to the.
We're at $36,499. Or no, that's not what we're at. What am I thinking?
I was about to say.
I just did the math wrong.
Okay. Yeah, there's a window. Just to let you, I'm just reading your comments. There's a window in there because that's how he looks out to see the. I'm doing fantastic, Pedro. That's how he looks out to see the caravan once it drives off.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we're at 40,087.
Okay.
I got some revisions in this morning. I got some revisions in yesterday morning.
Okay.
I also you'll probably see a comment where it talks about changing the ticket stealing scene where Sam has a key.
Yeah, I read that.
And then I took out, because you had described the trailer in
I read that
beginning.
Too.
So I took some of your ideas and I put them
up there.
Up where we had already described it, yeah.
Okay. I am doing fantastic. Sully, how are you doing? All right. As I do every time we start this out, I'm going to read what Chad has done and then form a plan for what I'm going to do for the day, take my break, come back, and start writing. So we also use this time to talk about anything that I may have questions about or whatever, because Chad works on this while we're not live, as well as when we're live, and I do not, because I have the streaming stuff and other projects that I'm working on that I got to get done. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. Also, for those of you who are wondering why we're not doing screen sharing anymore, we have some submissions out to interested parties, and we don't want to be showing everything. We've already talked about enough of where we're going, what we're doing, and I don't want to take any chances spoiling any deal that we might have down the road by showing too much. So that's why we're not showing this anymore. And there's no guarantees in this business, but just to be on the safe side.
Did you happen to send out that email?
Not yet. I'm gonna
Okay.
get it after I get done here. I got like literally one more page to read. Just to make. I'm just going over for like typos or anything. I haven't found anything so far, but
Okay.
go over that and then I'll send it this afternoon when I know he's in the office. So yeah, this is the boring time. I'm just gonna be reading. Usually I show this, but see what I just said.
Ah, shoot.
I fuck a lot in here, kid. Sorry. Just comes at, it's like he's so done at that point. He's like, okay, you're not you're not picking up what I'm laying down. I fuck a lot in here, kid. Sorry. that is that is a perfect. Oh, I'm already crying, man. It's like a perfect like slap in the face. Not really slap in the face, but it's like, God damn it, this is what I do. Woo. That would have sent me had I been reading this just on my own, just sitting down. It's sent me, and that yeah, I'm part of it. Anyways, oh, that's good.
That was supposed to be Spanish.
What? Oh,
The no
okay.
antes.
I'm sorry. All
I
right. Well,
tried. It's fine. It's fine. We should probably just do something else
it
because
needs one of those little.
I tried. It's not Spanish enough, probably. You were a perfect example of why it's not Spanish enough because you thought it was an error.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if it has the little, I don't know what it's not an omelette.
Yeah.
But if it has a thing above it, people
Yeah.
will understand that. We just got to make sure we use the right one because one direction means one thing and the other direction means another.
Yep.
Hang on, let me catch up a chat real quick. Happy to hear, been really good since it's now spookiest season. I've started my reread of Cruelty. Oh shit! Thank you, appreciate it. Haven't had the chance to join one of your lives for a bit. Happy to hear you're doing well. I'm glad to see you. It's always nice to see you around. So thank you for thanks for staying with me. If I'm Robert Planton and up in here. Oh, we definitely got to use that card at some point in time. There's so many knickknacks and things we have lying around that we can use later. It's going to be amazing. I call that the boiling pot. Stephen King, when he published On Writing, he did a competition. He said, "All right, here's the scene. There's a pot boiling on the stove. Write this scene, send it into this address, and I'll pick a winner." And the scene is he mentions in there, he's like, maybe something happens with the pot later on. So I kind of, or maybe it's smoking gun, Chekhov's gun, whatever you want to call it. And I know there's a terminology for it, but I call it the boiling pot as my own reference point. I really love shit like that, taking stuff that might be otherwise just kind of passed over and making it important. Kirk Gibson. Mingo Lingo only. Sweet. Oh yeah, I wrote that. Never mind. Sorry. I just realized, like, hey, that's pretty good. And I realized that was me. Act like a boy, and well, then we're back to the time I said I don't babysit. Sorry. I was like, that's a good line, Chad. You dumbass. Anyways, don't call yourself a dumbass. Stop it. Your knowledge of Playboy is impeccable.
At some point, they changed the binding. I think maybe it was in the 90s, the early 90s.
Yeah, it must have been, because when I was looking at them as a 10, 11, that would have been 90, 91. All of them were from like the 70s and 80s, because of course we stole it from our dads. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think the only other magazine that you could confuse it with at that time would be maybe Omni.
I don't even know Omni. Like we
It's
never found Omnis. I do remember.
well, Omni was like a science magazine, but it was very thick and it had that
okay.
same kind of like gap, very thick.
Right.
You know.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. It's funny because we had a very eclectic collection, me and my friends. There was of course the Penthouse, the Playboys, all that stuff. But yeah, we had a club, we had a hangout spot that we would literally like to sit around in a circle, not doing what you think.
Yeah, circle jerk.
Sitting around in a circle, just reading fucking dirty magazines. That's what we did. We just hung out, and then we'd be like, "Hey, look at this." One day, my buddy Ross shows up, and he's got and no shame to any that I'm just pointing this out because I think this is funny, but he showed up with Chicks with Dicks magazine that he found in his dad's closet, and he was like, "Did you know some chicks have penises?" I'm like, "Some what?" I was so confused. For years I was like, yeah, I'm glad I never asked my mother, because it took me quite a while after that to realize that this was a thing and whatnot. Yeah. So
It's funny how I think one of the most the funniest things I can think of were growing up where somebody, I was naive enough to believe it. Somebody told me that when I was a kid that Oriental women's vaginas were sideways and
Oh my
slanted like
God,
their
yeah,
eyes.
that was a yeah, that I'd heard that one when I was younger too. That one was fucking terrible.
They called
And
them
that
a 3 o'clock
mm,
insert
God damn. Yeah,
slang. But yeah, that was and I believed it. I was like, wow,
Jesus.
really?
Here's a wild one for you. I guess I don't know, it's a little less, it's a little more innocent than yours, I think. I don't know. Anyways, but I'll just continue talking. The I firmly believed from the ages of 11 to about 16. Now, my only sexual encounter, well, I've told the story before, but I was with a 40-year-old woman, my neighbor, when I was 11. It was consensual, but it still, it fucked me up, that kind of thing. I've talked about it a lot. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but it's important to know that part for this next part. Even though I had sexual experience at 11, I believed for years, and probably up until I was 16, and I had sex with someone else that was around my age, that if it was doggy style, it was 100% in the butt. Like it was anal. Like you couldn't reach that part or whatever, when they're in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because me and the older woman didn't try that position, but it's because that's what she preferred. She over the other place.
Mm-hmm.
So anal over vaginal is what she preferred. So I thought that was just how things were. That shit was
Mm-hmm.
just completely normal. And yeah, of course, you do whatever you want, enjoy what you want, because I do. But anyways, I just, and like I'd watch porn. I remember my friends laughing. With one of his dads had a huge collection, and I was like, being like a 12, 13-year-old kid, going, "Look at him, fuck that ass," kind of thing. He's like, "No, man, he's in her pussy," and we had a whole argument. I was like, dude, it's impossible. You can't hit that from that angle or whatever. I'm like, man, what are you talking about? You ain't ever had sex, right? Right. I'm like, no. If it's that position, then it's that thing. Boy, whew. Now, mind you, this is hilarious. This is the funniest ending to this story, I think. Had my first sexual experience when I was 11, and multiple times after that. But I believed in Santa Claus until I was 13.
Dang, dude.
13 years old. My parents went through the motions. They had people send me letters from all over the globe, marked from Santa Claus. Anytime I would hide a letter to Santa to kind of prove that Santa Claus wasn't real, they would find it, and I would get those presents anyways, and it would say from Santa. They were well, my dad had nothing to do with it. In fact, I found out later that he tried numerous times to get her, and the only reason I found out at 13 was because I got in a fight at school, a physical altercation at school over Santa Claus. I was like, he's real, and he was like, what are you, a little kid? You're 13 years old. It was like it had to have been junior high, and I was sent home because I was fighting, and so my mom came and got me. My dad was cutting grass or whatever. My mom came and got me, had to leave work. And when I got home, I was at home alone. She had to go back to work. Dad finally got home, and I walked up to him, and this is how sneaky I was. I walked to him and said, Mom said Santa Claus, my mother did not say this. I said, Mom said Santa Claus isn't real. Is that true? And he goes, yeah, it's about time we had this talk. So he sits me down. He goes, Santa Claus is more of a feeling than, that whole shtick. And then I started bawling. And when Mom got home, I was like, "You lied to me for so many years. Like, what the fuck happened?" My mom's like, "I don't even know what's going on." But that's how I finally found out, was tricking my dad into telling me.
We
So
didn't teach our kids Santa. We celebrated Christmas
yeah.
with a ton of gifts, but being Christians, we just didn't do it. I mean, I know a ton of Christians who do that. I was raised with Santa, and I thought it was cool and stuff, but we just chose not to. And when my son, who's in his late 20s now, I think he was in first grade, and he was telling the kids in school that Santa wasn't real, and or he had mentioned it to somebody, and I had told him, we have told our kids listen, some people, I was raised like this. Don't ruin it. You
Hmm.
know, just don't. And so got brought up in discussion at school. The teacher had to pull him out into the hall and call us and stuff. And she was gentle about it. She's just like, listen, I know you don't believe that, but these guys do. So let's just keep the ruse going,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them. And he was really cool about it. And
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's what we told him too. It's just like, yeah, don't just go with it.
Yeah, the funny part about us is we did Santa Claus for the time frame that like the kids wouldn't know. Like we would put like from Santa until they were like 3, that kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And then but both of my kids are so fucking hyper intelligent. And I'm not saying that bragging, it's just all the time they're shocking me with their, research and whatever. They'll come and talk to us about things, they'll look things up. And Dan, at 5 years old, they came to us and was like, Santa Claus isn't real. I know Santa Claus isn't real because I found all this. And then give us a list of evidence on how they found out that, he wasn't real. And then they were completely fine. Chris is 7 years younger than Dan. So it was 7 years, that 7 year difference, but Dan was super cool about it. But Chris also found out on their own. And it was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, but it was a matter of, and my mother took Chris to church, and we are the kind of family, like, you can believe whatever the fuck you want to. Like, I'm not going to tell my kids, my feelings on religion. I'm going to let them choose for themselves. I'm not going to strip them from any spirituality that they want to have, that kind of thing. So he goes to church with her, talks to another kid there. I think he was like 4 or 5, like in like Sunday school, and talking to that kid, and that kid told him that Santa Claus wasn't real, and this kid was about the same age as him at the time. At least that's what my mother told me. So he wasn't upset or anything. He just came home and said, "Did you know Santa Claus isn't real?" I was like, "Uh, yeah, I do, but he's like, well, that would explain why I didn't get any presents from him last year." I remember that specifically because, like I said, we didn't put Santa Claus on the tags after
Mm-hmm.
a certain amount of time. And Shell was of the mindset, because Shell has a little bit of an ego, and Shell was like, I'm not gonna let some fictional fucking character
Take
take
my
credit.
thunder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Take the credit for me buying stuff for my kids. And I'm like, hey, that's fine. I'm cool with that. So
Mm-hmm.
we just did it for the years that they, wouldn't consciously remember. But yeah, that's with my kids. So my kids, we still, it's funny because every year we still give them something from Santa,
Mm-hmm.
and it's usually the thing that they think that we couldn't afford.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be something like a new computer or a guitar or something like that, because I'll save up all year for Christmas. I will, and I get that from my mother, but the way my mother did it was run up all of her credit cards, and then she would pay them off throughout the next year, and then use them again to buy Christmas again, and then pay them off throughout the year. Of course, that caught up with her eventually, and she had to go bankrupt. But yeah, so I would save up all year long, and they know it's pretty much, even though I was making enough to to keep us comfortable and all that at up until like a year and a half ago, we were very, very comfortable. And they were still getting things like, Dan got a brand new computer and a guitar one year because that's what they wanted. And then Chris ended up with there was this thing of, like, it's not erector sets, but it's like erector sets, but for vehicles. It's not called erector set though. And he got the entire collection one year, and all those items came from Santa Claus because they didn't think we could afford them. So it's kind of like an inside joke in the house
Mm-hmm.
that if we can't afford it, ask Santa for it, that kind of thing. Maybe it'll
Right.
happen. So that keeps them asking for the things that they actually want. But yesterday, literally yesterday, it's funny that we're talking about this now. Dan said, I don't really want anything for Christmas. And then Chris kind of looked up like this and he goes, I think I'm cool too. And me and Shell kind of looked at each other and said, this is the purpose of how we've been doing Christmas, to get you to a place where eventually you don't want for anything, and it just kind of hit me that, parent achievement unlocked. We did good.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did we get them what they wanted, but they also have what they want and they are comfortable with that, and they are fine not asking for things they don't A, need, or B, that they might not really want right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, anyways, that struck me. I was like, this is a very proud moment as a parent for me.
Well, that's not me. So hey, if you are looking for somebody to give gifts to, I'm right here. I'll give you
No,
my address.
well, jokes on you, because we decided we're going to take a family, if we can afford it. It'll probably be a credit card situation, but we decided to, go and do something as a
Mm-hmm.
family, then buy everybody gifts. So we're just going to do something, I don't know what we're going to do or where we're going to go. But since this year has been so hard on us financially, it'll probably be a credit card situation. And like I said, I'm going to end up, if the writer's strike doesn't end soon, and all my contracts are gone anyways. But if I don't find any other contracts, I'll just go bankrupt. There's no other choice at this point in time. I'm paying some of my bills every single month, like my water and my electric. I'm paying with credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a situation you never want to be in. Because you still have to pay those credit cards.
Yeah.
So we're not behind on anything yet, but come November, everything will be in the red. Well, we're already in the red, but you get what I'm saying. I'm not even going to be able to pay for what, and I'm expecting by January I'm going to have to find a lawyer. Luckily, it's only $550 here to go bankrupt. Yay! Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not. We spent way too much last year because I got.
What's up, Ron? Sorry, I haven't seen you in chat before, and I wanted to say hello. Hello, Ron.
Even though my kids are adults now, I mean, Coda is the youngest at 18, but yeah, we still spoiled them like they were just kids. And then my grandkids, my nieces and nephew, and my brother and sister, my mom. So last year, man, we spent, but we had come into some money, so we thought we'll have a really, like a more than what we usually do kind of Christmas. But I'm not doing that again this year. That was stressful.
The year before last, we didn't do it last year. We tried this. We did 25 days of Halloween. We bought 50 gifts in total.
Mm-hmm.
We went from December 1st all the way to Christmas, and they were able to, and they had to save the big stuff for Christmas Day. But we did like 10 gag gifts, 10 fun gifts like toys or whatever, and then 5 educational things, and then on top of that we did a Christmas Day haul, so they got bigger things also. But dude, it was so confusing, because we made like an Excel spreadsheet of which one, and then when we would do like Chris A, Chris B, Chris, so on and so forth. And it was so confusing trying to keep track of which ones we had packed and which one was which thing. And then it turned into like almost not a scavenger hunt, but it turned into a hunt to try and find certain things in there. So it was a lot of fun, but also it was so much fucking work, because we wanted to have everything done and wrapped up and under the tree for the first. And it was madness, but it worked out. But we're never doing that again. In fact, the kids didn't even like it. They were like, I would actually prefer to open 25 presents on Christmas Day, no matter if they're just gag gifts or fun thing, whatever it might be. I would prefer to just do it that one day, or 7 days of Christmas. Definitely not 25 again. So I've never heard a child complain about getting so many gifts and having gifts every single day. But both of them were like, yeah, it was too much. It was too much.
I also last year I bought it was a big secret, but I bought Christmas time here. It's not even Halloween yet.
Yeah.
I bought all right, I designed t-shirts. I designed 4 t-shirts for Final Guys. One with each Hunter Shea, his picture on one, Jason Brand on one, and Jack Campese on one, and then me on one. And I had them up on TeePublic, but I didn't make them like public.
Right.
And then I got everybody's t-shirt size and address, and we had a Christmas pre-Christmas episode. And that particular shirt, I think, is the one that we're all on. But there's also separate ones. So if you wanted to get your own, your own favorite Final Guy or whatever. But I got sent all of them their own shirt with their face on it, and made them open it and I was wearing mine, but I had like a flannel or something over it,
Yeah.
and then made him open it live while we were doing the podcast.
Cool.
That
Would
was
you do
cool.
do me a favor? Email me that link because I can't copy and paste down here.
Yeah.
Email me that, and I'm gonna post it in my Discord for anybody who wants to check it out. Oh yeah. Scrabble, not Scrabble. Dude, you're in for a real treat. Ha! Alright. Done reading that section. Where did I leave off? Shit, I don't even know. Road to Salvation. Chow
Yeah.
Time. Yeah, I did Chow Time. That was the last one that I did. So I'm gonna the only thing I'm gonna write today is probably him working with Kay on the Ferris wheel because I know how to break one down and put it back together again. So
Okay.
I'll have them work on that and try not to make it boring, of course, and have some kind of purpose to the thing. So I was thinking, he's kind of stuck on this concept of Buzzard and Sam. So let's see if I can have him press K for some answers or whatever. And I think that might get into some some comedic area because K isn't going to just tell him what happened because he doesn't talk. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's what I'll do when I get back. But I didn't even get, I just realized I didn't even get to the point of what I was telling you off stream. So when we get done, please remind me to finish what I was telling you because I had a point to everything that I told you. And I just completely started rambling and just went off on a tirade about shit that didn't even matter. So yeah, remind me when we get done. I talk about it here, folks, but there's no guarantee anything's going to happen. So yeah, no reason to tell you guys something and you guys get your hopes up. Also, I'm technically not allowed to talk about it, so it's whatever. Anyways, let's get that off the screen. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm gonna go on break, and when I get back, I'm gonna start writing. See y'all then.
Okay.
Okay. Jump in.
Something wrong?
No, I was reading your magic finger
Okay.
section.
Too much?
No, you're asking Edward Lorne if something is too much. Are you fucking for real right now? Anyways, no, definitely not
Well,
too much.
too much. I mean, I'm trying to think of
It's fine.
those who might give it a read.
Uh,
That the powers that
no,
be.
no, it'll no. That you did it perfectly. It's alluded to without actually saying it. I was wondering if that's what you were getting at when I read the whole when Mingo kind
I
of
was wondering if that was what I was getting at too.
yeah. I love it. Anyways,
I figured it's harmless enough.
yeah. Given some of the authors they do publish, I'm not going to say any names, not to give anything away, but that is very tame by comparison. So,
Hey, what are you doing? What are you even looking at? Dude, Cooper, what are you doing? He's staring at this Michael Myers blanket I have, and he's barking at it.
have you ever seen the? It's a TikTok, but I think it was originally a Vine. A dog that has beef
Cooper,
with a fucking fence post. You ever
uh-uh.
seen that? Okay, so the story behind it is it's an electrified fence, and one day one of the sheep that this dog shepherds, got too close to the fence, and it shocked him. So ever since then, anytime the owner lets the dog out, the dog runs straight to this one post and starts barking at it. And the story behind it is it hurt one of his sheep, So he's like, stay away kind of thing. Very cool story.
I have no idea what he's working
Maybe Mike blinked at him. Who knows?
at. Cooper, what are you doing, man? You want to come up here?
We get a dog show?
Show
Oh, we get a
face.
dog show. What is up, Agent Cooper? Special Agent Cooper. Lesser Agent E saying good morning. He's like, what the fuck? What's going on here? There's all this kind of stuff. Who that person on the screen, Dad? Hey, you smell good. Look at me. Your hat kind of funky, though. I don't know. Ugh.
Go.
It's been a long day.
Look who you are.
It's a hard knock life for a dog. It's a hard knock life. But that's right. Scratches. That makes it all better.
All right, quit barking.
Yeah. Ugh.
103 pages.
Huh?
103 pages.
Yeah.
All right. I'm tapping out.
All right.
I'm gonna eat some lunch. I'll probably hit back in this later.
All right.
I've got a.
Hey, James.
I still got to work on this
Awesome,
logo.
bookable. Sorry, Chad.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
You're fine. Go ahead. I was just saying hi to the people.
I wasn't saying anything important.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me end this so I can finish what I was telling you earlier,
Okay.
uh, and then you can dip out. But anyways, thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. But until then, I'll hail the chair.